Hey folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of the Articulate Fly, and we're back with another East Tennessee fishing report with Ellis Ward. Ellis, how are you?
I'm doing well, Marv. How are you?
As always, just trying to stay out of trouble, and we were comparing notes before we started recording, and we're, I don't know, three and a half hours apart drive time-wise, but you guys haven't gotten quite as much rain on your side of the mountains as we have.
Yeah, I feel like every other conversation that we've had this summer has been me talking about the rain we've gotten. And then the last couple weeks, let's see, 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago was, wow, I'm in a time warp. Yesterday was the lowest I have rode the Watauga, not generating, and the Doe River was comfortably in, under 100. And you just look at the USGS gauge on that, and it's been going up to 300-400 and sitting there for a day or two, and then coming down to 180, 150, and those numbers are normally, you'll still see it peak up to 400 or 500 maybe with big rains, but it drops down quick to 100. Still feels healthy, and 60, 70 is real skinny, but it finds its way there. So still haven't seen that, but feel like we've been approaching it in the last few weeks, and then been getting a little more rain. Got hit today while we were out. And it looks, based on generation schedules with both rivers running more than half the day, which without a good amount of rain, the Watauga just does the 5 hours, 1 to 6 days a week, and the South Holston somewhat variable, but it's been pushing a little more water this summer than last year for sure. But all of a sudden, looks like we only get 3 days of forecast, but looking like these healthy flows are continuing, which, as we had discussed, might be compensating for some upcoming precipitation. But we have not gotten what you guys got. We didn't get the 2 to 3 inches. Certainly did not find its way here.
Yeah, and even though you don't expect like sulfurs to be off the hook at this time of year, you were telling me that the streamer bite's been good, but the dry fly bite's been unusually off.
Yeah, I think I like to tell myself that it's unusual this time of year, but I pick up rocks whenever I can. As much as I don't nymph much from the moving boat. It's what I started out doing in fly fishing. I still like to teach it. And they're in low water. There's a lot of juicy little cuts on the Watauga. But just picking up those rocks, forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but you do that in, February, March, it's stuff just falling, these 14s, 16s, 18s falling off, stoneflies. And now it's, there's a 32 sneaking around, and all the caddis are really small. There's the rocks are jam-packed with caddis, but they're babies growing big for next year. So I always anticipate, I'm a little spoiled being on two tailwaters. I always anticipate some blueing activity on overcast and sort of flat barometer days, but the big push of yellow bugs for sure on both rivers is over, and there's still reliable bug activity here and there. It's just starting to get into the downsizing season, and then we'll get, we'll talk in another couple weeks, and there's going to be some different activity, but August can start to feel a little grindy. Thankfully, we have water and have been moving and sticking some really nice fish, and Shout out to Hunter, who probably won't listen to this, but client who's just been a regular on the boat. And as you know, as anyone who has fished with me knows, you got to do a lot of different stuff, and you have to do it all together, and you have to do it well, and then you have to do it on a repeated basis. And that changes from frog water to fast water to this to that. And we adjust as conditions change and the day wears on, or we're exploring one thing or another. And yeah, he had good conditions, and that frog water, that slack water is just, it's 100% on you. You don't have the current making your fly look like it's moving fast. So fishing a big drunk and just force this big fish out. I think I'd moved that one maybe 2 weeks ago. So I'm not going to call it. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, there's a fish. Because if I did that all day, it would start to be boy who cries wolf. But man, he just had a cast in a great spot, stuck him, and went about 26 and a half, just under 26 and a half inches. So had just consistently having some good run-ins with that class of fish. So there's, we're not taking breaks as often to hit risers, but we do have that.
Yeah, and you still got some kind of post-Helene stain in the water, and you got mousing too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, all good things. And mousing will, as discussed last time, it's sun going down a little earlier each day. So we have more time for mousing and less food moving through the system. So, yeah, fishing's been good. And there's so many, I always like that. I sort of laugh at myself thinking that it could just start sleeting right now. And I could quickly come up with 3 or 4 different reasons why the bite's going to turn on. But yeah, there's every season there's some good stuff to be excited for. November, December, maybe starting October, I'm going to be starting to push towards musky, and I might already throw that out there. But mousing musky on the horizon, streamer bites hot right now. Still have some of that stain. Got a tropical storm system brewing south of us, so not a bad place to be.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of funny too. I was looking at an article, and at our latitude, we're going to lose 50 minutes of daylight this month.
We may have been hit with the same algorithm, but yeah, it happens fast. End of June happens fast, and all of a sudden July's over, and August doesn't. I hate to be the school teacher or parent that I just despised when I was a kid, but you start to get the feeling, 4 p.m. that the light outside in the late afternoon it doesn't look the same as it did a month ago. So, nothing is. There's too many metaphors in fishing, but yeah, things are different today than they were yesterday, and they're going to be different tomorrow.
And you should have been here yesterday.
You should have seen them. Oh man, they were eating yesterday.
Well, folks, we love we love questions on the articulate fly. You can email me or DM me on social media, whatever is easiest for you. And if we use your question, I'll send you some stickers. We're in a drawing for some cool stuff from Ellis at the end of the season. And Ellis, you already teasing musky, but you want to talk about how to get on the boat, how to get questions answered, any kind of bucktail alerts, anything good like that. You want to just share all that good stuff with folks?
Yeah. So the best way to contact me about fishing in general is my cell phone at 513-543-0019. Musky fishing is we're closing in on time to book, and already have some dates on the calendar, so I'm appreciative for that. Streamer fishing and mousing. I mean, I really want folks to be getting in here before fish start spawning in November, which sure, I get that seems like a long way away. It's not. Man, and all of a sudden that leads us right into bucktail. So I'm staring at a bunch now. They're gonna be back into some shops that just sort of taper off with the tying material, especially for bucktail throughout the summer, but some restocks at a few different places coming up, and there's still a good number available on elliswardflies.com. And yeah, book your trip and make sure it was for today between like 10 a.m. and noon.
Well, there you go. Well, folks, as I always say, you owe it to yourself to get out there and catch a few. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, Ellis.
Appreciate it, Marv.